When 8-year-old Lily Chen walked into the truck stop diner at dawn, her left eye swollen shut and her lip crusted with dried blood, the last thing anyone expected was for her to approach the table where 15 Hell's Angels sat finishing their breakfast. Her tiny voice barely carried over the clatter of dishes, but what she said next would change 50 lives forever. "Please, will one of you be my dad? Just for today?" This is a story about the family we find when home becomes the most dangerous place on earth. If you believe that kindness still exists in this world, that people deserve protection, and that goodness can rise from even the most unexpected places, then pause for a moment. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Bike Diaries, and tell us in the comments below, where are you watching from tonight? Because this story might just restore your faith in humanity. The Crossroads Diner sat at the intersection of Highway 50 and Route 12. Every Saturday morning at 6 a.m., the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club gathered there. 15 core members, always the same table. Cole Matthews was the club president, 52 years old with a silver beard and eyes that had seen combat in 2 wars. These weren't the men people feared. These were the men who showed up when disasters struck, when nobody else would answer the call. Then the door chimed. Lily Chen pushed through, and every conversation died. She couldn't have weighed more than 60 pounds. Her pink jacket was torn. But it was her face. A black eye swollen completely shut, a split lip, and bruises on her neck that looked like finger marks. "I need help," she said, stopping at Cole's table. "Are you the Hells Angels?" "We're the Hells Angels, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Lily Chen. I'm 8. I go to Lincoln Elementary." "Who hurt you?" James Rodriguez, a former cop, asked. "My stepdad, Derek. Yesterday I broke a glass. He said I was useless and pushed me down the stairs." The words tumbled out. "Today's career day at school. Everyone's bringing their parents. I thought if one of you came, Derek would know someone's watching." Cole felt something ancient and protective ignite in his chest. Danny Martinez had grown up in foster care. James had watched his own sister die from domestic violence. Tommy Lee's back was covered in scars from his father's belt. Every man there knew what it meant to be that helpless child. "What time's career day?" Cole asked. 10 o'clock, at Lincoln Elementary." Cole stood slowly, his 6'3" frame commanding the space. "We'll be there, all of us." Lily's good eye went wide with disbelief. "Really? You'd do that for me?" "Lily, look at me." Cole knelt down to her eye level, his voice gentle but firm. "This thing with Derek, it stops today, right now, you understand? You're not going back to that house until he's gone. You're not facing him alone ever again." "I don't want to get Mom in trouble. She needs him because of the money. Your mom needs her daughter alive more than she needs his money," Marcus interjected quietly. "Trust us on that." Cole pulled out his phone. "What's your mom's number? We need to call her, and then we need to get you to a hospital." Lily recited the numbers, her voice barely above a whisper. Kelly the waitress appeared with a plate stacked high with pancakes, eggs, and bacon. "On the house, sweetheart. You eat as much as you want." As Lily sat at the counter, the bikers gathered in a tight circle away from her. Phones came out. Voices were low but urgent. Cole called his road captain in the next county. Marcus contacted the chapter president 2 towns over. James texted 3 members who worked in law enforcement. "We need everyone," Cole said. "Every single brother and sister who can ride. This isn't just about showing up to a school event. This is about making a statement, about showing this little girl, and every person in that school, that she has a family now, a real family that protects its own." Tommy Lee, the oldest member at 68, wiped his eyes roughly. That kid's got more courage in her pinky finger than most grown men have in their whole body. Walking in here like that, asking strangers for help, that's warrior spirit. My sister was 8 when my old man started on her, James said quietly. By the time anyone noticed, by the time anyone did anything, it was too late. I won't let that happen again, not on my watch. Danny nodded, his jaw set. I bounced through 23 foster homes. You know what I would have given to have one person, just one person, show up for me like this? We're doing this right. By the time Lily finished eating, Cole had mobilized 35 more members from surrounding chapters. Some were already on their bikes. Others were calling in sick to work. All of them were coming. 50 total, Cole told his brothers, his voice thick with emotion. We show up at that school like an army. We make damn sure every person there, every parent, every teacher, every kid knows that Lily Chen is protected now, that she has 50 fathers, 50 mothers, 50 siblings who will move heaven and earth to keep her safe. Cole called Jennifer Chen. She answered on the 3rd ring, sounding exhausted. Hello? Mrs. Chen? My name is Cole Matthews. I'm with the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Your daughter Lily is with us at the Crossroads Diner. She's safe, but she's hurt, badly, and she told us what Derek's been doing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stories like these need to be shared to make a difference. The sound that came through the phone was somewhere between a sob and a scream. Oh God, oh my God. I knew something was wrong. She's been so quiet lately, so careful around him. But I work such long hours, I'm barely home. Mrs. Chen, listen to me. None of this is your fault. You're working to keep a roof over her head and food on the table. But Derek Morrison is hurting, your daughter. She has 3 cracked ribs, a black eye, a split lip, and bruises on her neck where he tried to choke her. Jennifer's breathing became ragged. Where is she now? Is she okay? We're taking her to County General ER. We need to document everything, get her examined properly. And Mrs. Chen, Derek's going to be arrested today. We're making sure of it. They talked for another 15 minutes. Jennifer explained how Derek had seemed kind at first, helpful even. He'd proposed after 6 months, and she'd said yes because Lily needed stability, needed a father figure. But unemployment changed him. Drinking changed him. Anger that had simmered beneath the surface finally boiled over. I should have seen it, Jennifer whispered. I should have known. He hid it well. They always do. But your daughter is the bravest person I've met in my 52 years on this earth. She walked into a diner full of strangers and asked for help. That takes courage most adults will never have. An hour later, in the emergency room, a doctor examined Lily while Jennifer sat beside her daughter, holding her hand and crying silently. Cole and Marcus waited outside with 3 other members, their presence both comforting and intimidating to the hospital staff. The doctor emerged, her face grim. 3 cracked ribs, definitely. Severe contusions across her back and torso. The black eye will heal, but she's lucky. A centimeter to the left, and she could have lost vision permanently. The bruising on her neck indicates strangulation. Someone put their hands around this child's throat and squeezed. She looked directly at Cole. You called this in? The girl came to us. Then you saved her life. Another incident like last night, and we'd be having a very different conversation in a very different room. She handed Cole a folder. Full documentation. Photos, medical assessment. I'm mandating a CPS report and immediate police involvement. James stepped forward, flashing his old badge, the one he technically wasn't supposed to carry anymore, but always did. I'll make sure the report gets to the right detectives, the ones who actually give a damn. By 9:15, police had been dispatched to the house on Oak Street. Derek Morrison woke up to find his stepdaughter gone and 3 squad cars in his driveway. The documented injuries, the hospital report, Jennifer's tearful testimony, and the detective's own instincts all added up to one thing: immediate arrest and charges. Multiple counts of child abuse, domestic violence, and assault with intent to cause serious bodily harm. By 9:45, 50 motorcycles were pulling into Lincoln Elementary in perfect formation. "Everyone's going to stare," Lily said quietly, wearing hospital clothes that read, "Stronger than you think." "Because you asked for help, and 50 people answered. That's courage." Cole offered his hand. "Let's show them what family looks like." Principal Anderson stood in the school parking lot, watching in disbelief as 50 motorcycles rolled in. She'd been principal of Lincoln Elementary for 12 years. She'd seen a lot of career days, parents who were doctors, lawyers, firefighters, even a NASA engineer once. But this was unprecedented. The bikers parked in perfect rows. They dismounted simultaneously, a choreographed movement that spoke of years riding together. 50 men and women in leather vests bearing the Iron Brotherhood patch, a phoenix rising from flames with the words, "Reborn through Brotherhood," underneath. Cole led the procession, Lily's small hand wrapped tightly in his large, calloused one. The other bikers followed in formation, filing toward the school entrance like a military unit with a mission. "Mr. Matthews?" Principal Anderson intercepted them at the door. "What's going on here?" "Career day, ma'am. Lily invited us." "All 50 of you?" "She's got 50 family members now. We figured we'd all show up to support her." Cole's voice was calm, but carried an edge that suggested arguing would be pointless. "That a problem?" Principal Anderson looked at Lily, this quiet student who never caused trouble, who often ate lunch alone in the corner of the cafeteria, who'd missed more school days this year than any other child in her class. She saw the bandaged eye, the way the girl held herself carefully like every movement hurt, the mixture of fear and hope in her expression. And then she looked at these bikers, these rough-looking men and women who'd shown up on a Saturday morning, who'd taken the time to ride here, who were looking at this broken little girl like she was the most precious thing in the world. "No problem at all," the principal said softly, her voice thick with emotion. "Welcome to Lincoln Elementary." The gymnasium had been set up with stations, each parent at a table with materials to explain their profession. Lily's third-grade class had 42 students. 38 parents had shown up to present. There were the usual suspects: a few lawyers in pressed suits, 2 doctors in scrubs, an accountant with a calculator, a software engineer with a laptop, 3 teachers from other schools. Then 50 bikers walked in. The gymnasium fell silent. You could have heard a pin drop. Parents stared, their mouths slightly open. Children gaped, some in fear, others in awe. Mrs. Patterson, who'd been teaching 3rd grade for 17 years and thought she'd seen everything, looked like she might faint. Cole approached her directly, Lily still at his side. "Morning, ma'am. We're here for Lily Chen. Career day." Mrs. Patterson found her voice, though it wavered. What exactly do you do?" "We're motorcycle club members. We ride, we work on bikes, and we help communities when they need it. We run charity drives, disaster relief operations, and youth protection programs." He smiled, and despite his intimidating appearance, it was warm and genuine. "And as of this morning, we're Lily's family, all 50 of us." Mrs. Patterson's eyes went to Lily, really seeing her for the first time. The injuries, the way she winced when she moved, the bruises on her arms that the t-shirt didn't quite cover. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh, honey, I should have known. I should have seen. She hid it well," Marcus said gently, stepping forward. "These kids learn to be invisible to survive. They learn to smile through pain, to make excuses for bruises, to protect the people hurting them because they don't know any other way. It's not your fault, ma'am." But now you know. Now we all know. And that changes everything. When it was their turn, Cole stood with Lily beside him. How many think we're scary? Most hands went up. We're not here to hurt anyone. We're here because Lily was brave enough to ask for help. And we answered. He told them about rebuilding homes after tornadoes, delivering Christmas presents to families who'd lost everything, escorting domestic violence victims to safety. Tommy stepped forward. I grew up in a house where my dad hurt me every day. Took me 40 years to learn that real strength is about protecting people, not hurting them. Danny spoke next. 23 foster homes before 18. The Iron Brotherhood took me in when I had nothing. Then a small hand went up. Brandon Mitchell, a quiet kid. My dad hits my mom. I don't know what to do. The gym went silent. Brandon's father stood, large and imposing. Brandon, that's enough. No, it's not, James said. Son, come here. Brandon ran to him. James knelt between the boy and his father. Mrs. Mitchell, we have safe houses, legal support. You don't have to stay. This is none of your business, Mr. Mitchell growled. 15 bikers stepped between him and his family. Immovable. You can walk out with dignity, or wait for the police we called, Cole said quietly. Mr. Mitchell looked around and left. Mrs. Mitchell collapsed, sobbing. 2 biker women moved to her side. How many of you have seen something and said nothing? Cole asked the adults. A bruise, a withdrawn child. Slowly, hands rose. More than half the room. That stops today. We're starting a program here. Safe adults, resources for families in trouble. Principal Anderson nodded. Yes. Within a week, Derek was charged. Jennifer filed for divorce. The Iron Brotherhood set up protection outside Lily's grandmother's house. Cole met with Maria Gonzalez from CPS. She had 64 cases, double what she should carry. What you did, that's what every child needs. But I'm one person. What if you had help? From people who've lived through it. The cycle usually just repeats. Not if someone breaks it. By Saturday, Iron Shield opened at the clubhouse. 12 children were referred. 23 showed up. Lily found Cole in the workshop. Can I learn to fix bikes? That's why you're here. She smiled genuinely for the first time. Brandon's mom left. His dad. She's safe now. Because you were brave. Because Brandon was brave. Courage is contagious. Within a year, Iron Shield served 6 schools and 137 children. 12 families escaped domestic violence. Lily, now 9, presented to the school board. This program saved my life. I learned that asking for help is brave. That family is about who shows up. The vote was unanimous for district-wide expansion. 5 years later, 13-year-old Lily stood before the National Conference on Child Welfare. 2,000 people filled the auditorium. 5 years ago, I asked bikers for help. That sparked a program serving 3,000 children across 12 states. She showed statistics, reduced recidivism, improved outcomes, successful reunifications. Kids need adults who show up, who understand, who stay when things get hard. The standing ovation lasted 3 minutes. That evening, the Iron Brotherhood voted to formalize Iron Shield as a non-profit. Lily stood. I joined the club last week as junior member. This club saved me. Now I want to save everyone else who needs it. Cole hugged her. Your dad would be proud. Daniel Chen. Both my dads are proud. The one who gave me life and the one who taught me how to live it. Iron Shield International now operated in 7 countries. Lily, 18 and heading to Stanford, stood with Cole at the 10th anniversary. 3,000 attendees filled the convention center. Behind her, the screen showed 47,000 children served, 892 domestic violence interventions, 0 children in the program died from abuse. "That last number is what I'm most proud of," Lily said. "When kids ask for help, we show up, every time." Outside later, Lily turned to Cole. "When I was 8, I asked for a dad for one day. But you gave me a dad for life. You showed me that broken things heal, that asking for help is brave, that family is about who shows up." Cole pulled her close. "You did the hard part. You asked. You saved my life." "No, kid. You saved ours. You gave us purpose." Behind them, 50 bikers from that original morning stood together, older but still strong, still showing up. Because 10 years ago, a little girl with a black eye asked them to be her dad for one day. And they answered, not just for one day, forever. That answer echoed across a decade, across countries, across thousands of lives changed by the truth that family isn't about biology. It's about who shows up when the world gets dark, who stays when things get hard, who answers when someone is brave enough to ask. All because one little girl believed that bikers might have the courage to match hers. She was right.